Alright, hello people. Finally deciding to record this thing after a little bit. Sorry, taking me a little bit. Yeah, I'm finally recording and making a video for Dragon Quest: The Adventure of Dai. Been a little while since I've read it, but still, I just didn't make a video for much after that. So yeah, it's finally high time that I actually recorded this freaking video. And again, I have not played very many Dragon Quest games. It's a cord running mic. I have not played very many Dragon Quest games. I only played 1, 2, and I've only finished 1. So, but still, I like what I played, and I decided to buy this. Since I was more surprised that it was actually localized in the first place. So, don't have much else of an intro for this, aside from saying that the reason why those chapters are in the thumbnails because there's 15 chapters and that's way too much for me to summarize, so I'm doing the first 2 multiple parts, and then we're doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how this is gonna go. So yeah, also this is not meant to be a big spoiler review thing. This is just meant to be a Cliff Notes version and my quick thoughts. This is not meant to be a big spoiler review, so this is just my quick thoughts. It's not a big spoiler review, so yeah, here we go. Chapter 1 tells a short retelling of the story of Erdrick from Dragon Quest III. Then it tells us about Dai, the lone human on a island full of monsters. And he's basically just doing this thing, trying to be taught to be a mage by his grandpa, because he's not actually related to him. He's not actually related to him, but we get into the actual origins of Dai later on in the story, it seems. Because I've only read through the ones I've said I would read. I haven't got to read much further than that. Yeah, he's being trained to be a mage by his grandpa, but he wants to be a hero. And then he also has a friend that is, I think was called frickin' what was it? Gomi-chan? I think that's how you say that. Like, oh, hold on a second. Like, he says this, spelled like this, so I don't know if that's how you spell that. Say that, frickin'. If anyone can actually tell me if I said that right in the comments, go ahead. See, I'm pretty sure what he was called before was called a golden metal slime, so we're just gonna continue on. I'll correct myself when I actually get to that page. So yeah, he spots a ship in the distance, and he sees a guy that looks like he could be a hero. Decides to get a monster to go help him get to that ship. And then it turns out that the heroes that he sees on the boat are actually meant to be bad guys, so they're trying to, so then, oh yeah, he is called the golden metal slime, okay. He is a golden metal slime. That is what it's called, okay. So yeah, basically the heroes are just there to kill the monsters and reap the rewards. So yeah, Dai jumps onto the ship and introduces himself and gives them the direction to the island. Calls basically all the monsters are there because he's basically friends with all the monsters, I guess. And then they ask about the golden metal slime Gomi, and I guess I'll just call him that just to keep things shorter, I guess. Then he goes to find him. Then the heroes start attacking. Then Dai sees them beating up all the monsters. They swipe Gomi. Then they beat up Dai for a bit, magic and stuff, and then they get away. Then his grandpa gives him some magic cylinders and things, which are things that are meant to capture, to magically put monsters in things. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It like puts the monster in them and you can just get them out whenever you want. I don't know how to describe it. Then Dai goes to go get Gomi-chan back. I just said I wouldn't say that whole thing. End of part 1. Part 2, heroes take the golden medal slime to the king, and then they get basically rewarded, very well rewarded. Then Dai captures one of them, and then he finds out where they are through interrogation tactics, I guess you could say. Then he goes to get Gomi, and then the one that they captured before breaks free, and then there's a big fight scene and stuff, and then the king finds out that heroes are mostly bad guys and stuff, and then the bad guys get defeated, and the king sees the error of what he did, and then he gives Dai the crown of champions, and that is the end of part 2. So that was chapter 1, 2, chapter 1, part 2, and 1 and 2. So now we move on to chapter 2, parts 1, 2, 3. So part 1, we see Dai training again to be a mage. Still doesn't work. Then they see another ship that's actually coming in. Then they meet, basically what's happening here is that it's some sort of royal ceremony thingy. And then, of course, with the princess turning 14, she now has basically the rest of the month to do the ritual thingy that's happening. With the bishop and the sage following. Basically an escort thing, I guess. I don't know what I don't know how to describe things well. Okay, and basically the ritual place is on this land. Well, on the land of, what was this place called again? Dermaline Island. I'll show it right here. Dermaline Island. I have no idea how to pronounce that, okay? I'm not gonna spend time, just waste time talking about that, so we'll just move on. So yeah, basically the ritual place is on the island they're currently on, and now Dai has to escort them. The princess, being impressed with Dai being able to talk to monsters, gives him a little sword thingy, a hero sword, I guess. It's been a while since I've read it, okay? I need to move. I just need to move, okay? Then they see a giant evil scorpion that isn't from the island. Then the princess gets infected with the giant scorpion's poison. Then Dai takes out the scorpion with the sword that she gave him. For the poisoning scene, since the scorpion venom can't be cured with an antidote, they have to use this spell called Squelch. The spell names in Dragon Quest are weird, I know. And that is the end of part 1. Part 2, they start trying to head back, then Varion, the sage, reveals himself to be the one that got the evil scorpion back on the island. Well, on the island. Then Varion traps them underground, and then word gets around to Grandpa that evil scorpion thing happened, and then it's revealed that what was he called again? Temjin was evil as well, so he could let Princess Leona die and then just usurp power and stuff, since he would be the next in line after she's dead. Dai has a hard time getting out. Varion finally gets back, and then he suits up in a killing machine. Basically, it's what it's described as, and I'm pretty sure I saw one Dragon Quest 2, at least as far as I got in that game. So yeah, this is from the game. So yeah, they start just making sure they start just fighting all the monsters and stuff to make sure their evil plot goes well, I guess. Dai finally gets out of there through sheer willpower, I guess, and then that is the end of part 2. Part 3, there's there's some more fighting going on and stuff. Dai is fighting up monsters and stuff. Start helping Dai. Dai somehow uses magic and stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch more fighting. Yeah, there's a decent amount of pages of just them fighting. Yeah, and I'm trying to be a very spoiler-free. I'm trying to do a bunch of spoiler-free reviews, so I'm not explaining everything that's happening here. So, yeah, there's a bunch of fighting. It's a decently long fight scene, and Dai finally gets the upper hand on the killing machine, defeats him, and then the day is saved, I guess. And that is the end of part 3. And that's as far as I'm going in this current. So yeah, what do I think of it so far? Pretty dang good, honestly. The fight scenes are decently well drawn. The characters so far are pretty decent, and the artwork is great all around. One thing I did really like is that good use of the monsters. Like, there's obviously the killing machine before, but there's a lot. But the monsters do actually serve a purpose in here. They're not just there for just the heck of it. They actually do serve a purpose here, and they do things that you would expect them to do. Like, for example, yeah, diving. The frick. Yeah, Dai using a chimera to fly to the place he's trying to get to. That is good use of monsters. So yeah, good use of monsters. So yeah, that's a good thing. So yeah, so far it's pretty dang good. Is there anything else specific I can bring up? Yeah, I don't really have much to say other than it was pretty good at least without going into spoiler territory, that is. So yeah, so far I'm really liking it so far. So yeah, we'll see how this goes in the future. So yeah, we'll see how this goes for more readings. But I don't think that another review of this is gonna be in my next video. I think what I'm gonna do next is that Dead Rising video I thought of. I'm gonna do the Dead Rising video next, because I really do want to get that. I really want to get that made. I want to stop sitting on it and actually play this stinking game. I've definitely held off playing that for way too long, so yeah, I think I'm gonna go do the Dead Rising video next, and we'll probably see more Dai after that. Or maybe I'll just do some other things, like since I finally have this, I finally am able to do Let's Plays. I finally think I'm able to do more Let's Plays and stuff, because I wanted to get a better microphone. So yeah, I think either another Let's Play, or the Dead Rising video should be next. So yeah, gonna be a bit before we get to go back to Dai. So yeah, I don't really have much else to say. So I'll see you later. Goodbye.